So yeah, our last question for the mini mailbag for the mailbag section. We've got two other questions, but we're going to embed them into other portions of the show. Stick with us. Last question here from Double Animal Fries is: with the constant talk of devaluations, coupon wars, problems with credit card, YouTube, etc., what positive trends have you observed over the years? RJ, what positive trends have you noticed?
The stack your points Discord, like that is a super positive thing. Like we help each other out. Sometimes we go full sibling mode and start debating each other and things get heated and everybody cools down and it's fine again, right? Like we're passionate people, but that Discord is super positive. The community in comments here for Stack Your Points is really positive. The conversations I've had with both of you and Tariq and Kid and the Discord in general, that is all positive. I think talking about the credit card community and having it be people who participate in it and just simply give content to it is going to be a very broad tent. If you talk about the little fiefdom of a specific creator and what they can build, I think that is tends to be more positive because like we all have mod power, right? If somebody is acting a fool, we can have them not, right? We can simply either talk to them or have them leave. So we can control to a certain extent the experience people have and make it a positive one or make it one where you can learn or ask questions, make it one where you can have debates on certain things and it works. So to me, the community around this podcast has been incredibly positive over the last nearly year. I can't believe we're coming up on a year, but it's been really positive. And seeing the conversations and seeing people's strategy evolve and seeing all that has been really positive. So I would say that to me is something that I've observed that makes me smile and really does bring a bit of warmth to my cold dead heart.
There you go. Lonnie, positive trends you've noticed?
I think I have to say my favorite positive trend is leaning in on RJ or expanding on RJ, and that would be the openness of opinion. And what I mean when I say that is that when I started my channel roughly a year and a half ago now, and I know Matt, you started yours literally
A couple
almost
months
around the
before
same
you.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost around the exact same time. There were before then there were only a few, I will call them leaders or strong voices within the credit card space. And now we see new creators pop up almost like every single month there's another new creator. And I'll be the guy to go ahead and drop names, but we have points with Philip, we have Sunny Money, we have Jordan Rules of Credit. The other Matt, I can't think of his last name. Dude's down in Miami. Can't think of his name right now, but he's also a really great new creator as well. And I will say that's definitely a positive trend because one, it brings in new experiences, especially from people from different backgrounds, have different geographical starting points, i.e., somebody might be someone on the East Coast and lives next to a Publix versus someone that's on the West Coast and they don't have Publix, but they have something else in which they can use credit cards for that can optimize spend, get extra points. And then next thing you know, people are starting to share those types of things. I've said it before and I've gotten many an accolade as no one really talked about point stacking until I came in. And now it's like a foundation topic. It's one of those standard things. This is part, everybody needs to look into that. And I don't want to be humble enough to say, toot my own horn here, but I am actually pretty proud that I was able to introduce not just what that is, but how people could do it or how they could be doing it better. And I've had people reach out to me. You've seen it in my comments. Man, I never knew about that. I didn't even know you could do that. Those types of things. And now I'm just using me for by example. But then there's other people. For example, I'm going to use Jordan again, who's literally going through a wedding with his credit cards. We've all talked about, even myself, a wedding is a great way. Let the wedding pay for your honeymoon. And this dude created a channel and he's actually doing it, those types of things. So I would say that's a positive trend about how we're sharing so many diverse and unique experiences because we're all going to learn from somebody. Whatever you think you're doing, you're not doing all of it. You're not, I guarantee you there's something more you could be doing. There's something more that you could be learning. And by listening to other people, have other people in the community to share those experiences is the way that we're going to learn. I've learned from other people, when I had a pretty great setup before, and now I have even a better setup now. And so I would say that's one of my favorite, most positive trends is seeing all the new people or hearing all the different perspectives and experiences and how everyone has this jigsaw puzzle, this Rubik's cube of credit cards, and how they solve it for themselves, but then how you can actually take from a little bit from this side and a little bit from that side, a little bit from this side to make your own little strategy for your own self.
Yeah. Now, piggybacking on that, positive trends, 5 years ago, there were probably what, 8 major credit card creators that you could name off the top of your, like everyone would know like the big 8 if you were to say there were 8. There was like Nam Win, Humphrey Yang, Humphrey, is it Yang? Humphrey, to a very lesser extent because he was more personal finance, but Graham Stephan, there was Sebi, there was Credit Shifu, and now there's so many more. Lonnie mentioned a couple of creators who've started up recently. There's also like John R, who's a good friend of who's a friend of ours across our channels. John's in everybody's lives. Like John is a huge supporter across the board, and he's getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Like he started his journey in starting a channel. We have a bunch of other perspectives. You got the rewards master who foregoes like major hotel stays because he is about international business and first. You've got Dugras, you've got a couple of folks who have gone kind of inactive, but you do get other perspectives like Matt Welter, like Darius Jamal, forgetting Eric's last name, or CJ. You got Sledge, you've got Chad, you've got all these creators where 3 or 4 years ago they weren't making content. So like you've got all of these added perspectives, all of these different approaches to things. Key from Key Adventures, Yiji Deno, who's like this interesting new creator I stumbled across who like was doing fitness stuff and then transitioned to credit cards in like the last 4 or 5 months. It's interesting to see. Was it fitness? It doesn't matter. You've got Mertz's points perspective. You've got Spencer Johnson. You've got all these people, and you get all these different ways to approach things. Stan, the Credit Frog, Joe Barretto, like all of these names, right?
You're not going to remember all the names.
No, Matt. You're not.
You're going to try.
I'm amazed I remember I got as far down the rabbit hole as I did.
Apologies for anyone that we appreciate you and we did not call you out, but we know you're there.
Yes, but it's different perspectives across the spectrum, right? It is, this is how I've approached these various things. This is how I get American status without setting foot on an American plane and then when I do step on an American plane, I get all of the luxuries as if I've been flying American for the last 15 years. Lonnie's approach with United, others' approaches with Delta, some folks who forego the big 3 airlines and take different perspectives there. Like that is a huge positive. And then the conversations that we can have in our Discord and some other Discords can be positive. Overall, like the community is growing, the perspectives vast. So those are definitely positive trends and ways to kind of discuss other ways to look at devaluations or coupon wars or see like what can work for you. Take these negatives and turn them into some advantages here and there. So with all the negatives, there's definitely positive trends, and the biggest is just watching the YouTube community, the YouTube perspectives grow, which creates better conversation across the spectrum.